Last lap underway here then in the Tissot sprint at the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli. Jorge Martin's advantage is just under a second. Pedrosa again thinks about it into the first corner, but Bagnaia is just too good on the brakes. Absolutely brilliant defending this by the world champion, fighting for every single precious point.
Well, by showing his front wheel there and taking the tighter line, he might have opened the door there for Binder, who's sideways into the Rio corner. How is Pecco Bagnaia holding this pair off? You fear his biggest problem might be here onto the back straight down to Quercia. That's where the KTMs have been really getting off that turn 6 so well. Pedrosa locked into the slipstream.
He's never on a tighter line, has he, down towards turn number 8 in his career, Pecco Bagnaia. Credit to Marco Bezzecchi on that last lap. He got back in the 131s. It's still Bagnaia resisting the KTM charge here. The KTM boys of Pedrosa and Binder are running out of overtaking opportunities here. Top end of the circuit into the first gear, 65 km/h, Tramonto corner. This is where Bagnaia is so good, coming through the fast right-handers of 11, 12 and 13, and it looks like he may well be hanging on for dear life for this sprint third place here. Big head shake for Pedrosa as he comes through turn 12.
Just how aggressive will Dani Pedrosa dare be? I don't think he's close enough anyway. He might lose this position to his teammate as Brad Binder has a look up the inside. He nearly ran into Pedrosa early on. Bagnaia looks clear now.
Bagnaia then comes through turn number 15, the ride of a world champion, pure grit from him. He's had to dig so deep, but your Tissot sprint winner here in San Marino, a super Saturday for the poleman Jorge Martin, who takes the checker flag, nearly 1.5 seconds clear of Marco Bezzecchi. A brave second place for Bezzecchi, heroic third for Pecco Bagnaia. Quite on earth how he was able to fend off Pedrosa and Binder late on the KTMs. Points go to Maverick Vinales. He'll be disappointed, having shone on Friday and given his great record here in Misano. Marini, Aleix Espargaro and Alex Marquez, they take the points down to 9th place. Marc Marquez rounds out your top 10. But as we mentioned, a super Saturday for Jorge Martin. All-time lap record to take pole this morning. He backs it up with not a hammering over Marco Bezzecchi, to say the least. He had to work really hard for it. Marco Bezzecchi, there were a couple of key mistakes in that 13 laps, which he will reflect on and maybe have some regret, but still a brilliant second place for him. And Pecco Bagnaia, incredible. Well, it finished as it started in terms of your front row. Poleman Martin first, second went to Marco Bezzecchi, and Pecco Bagnaia third. But I don't think Bezzecchi, and in particular Pecco Bagnaia, would have had to have worked so hard for a sprint podium, any podium in their career, than what they did this afternoon. Brilliant stuff by the VR46 Academy boys.
Those will be 7 very useful points to Pecco Bagnaia. You can see how much it's taken out of Marco Bezzecchi here this afternoon. He certainly had the pace to match Jorge Martin, but ultimately not the pace to catch him. Martin making that early break on the first couple of laps, and Bezzecchi released into second place by that mistake for Bagnaia early on in the race, but was unable to ultimately close that gap down. He'll have the opportunity to turn that around tomorrow as Martin takes his 3rd sprint win of the year. What an entertaining battle it was between Bagnaia and the factory KTMs. Pedrosa in the end just under 2/10 shy of a sprint podium. Binder took 5th, Vinales 6th, Luca Marini 7th, Aleix Espargaro in 8th, and Alex Marquez takes the final point.
Dani Pedrosa, 37 years of age, nearing his 300th Grand Prix weekend, and he was right there in the mix. But you have to doff your cap, don't you, because that man had to dig so deep for that 3rd place. No wonder the Bagnaia fan club are on their feet, appreciating the efforts of their hero, and it really was a heroic performance by Pecco Bagnaia, taking nothing away from Marco Bezzecchi, who's riding in excruciating pain himself. He really did push Jorge Martin so hard, but Super Saturdays, he's had a few of them, hasn't he, in 2023. Jorge Martin